Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey, that's Rachel.
Hey, you recently got, out of the blue, you got to visit Jackson Wink MMA Academy. So in the UFC, there are various places, right, where fighters train and work out and, hone their craft. And some of them are very, very popular. And Jackson Wink is one of those. And Jackson Wink is home to Jon Jones, Holly Holm, to name a couple. And now it's also home to Claressa Shields.
The T-Rex. She was like, ah!
Which is she's a champion boxer.
She's more than a champion. She's the G-Woat, Rachel.
Yeah. She was undisputed champion for a time in boxing. Great women's boxer. She is currently in her prime.
Maybe not even in her prime.
In boxing, right. We don't know. But she made the decision to add MMA to the things that she's going to learn. And so Kelsey went there to cover that. And so my first question for you, Kelsey, is, are you now best friends with Jon Jones?
I mean, I would think in his
Albuquerque's not that big, right? It's not like you're going to New York. Surely.
I did almost get to see him. How about that? I did almost get to visit with Jon Jones. But he had a prior engagement. I'll say that.
Now, you are kind of friends. I'm going to just say you're friends with Holly Holm.
What are you doing? I got to meet Holly Holm, and that was cool. So what's funny about that is if you would have asked Kelsey if you could go to any MMA gym in the country or the world, really, what would it be? And I'd be like, well, I want to go to Jackson Wink. I actually had this thought a month ago. Mm-hmm. But then the second thought I had was, well, why would I be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere near the place that I would go. I'm not interested really in snow skiing or whatever. Yeah. I like the beach, et cetera, yada, 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 bada bing, bada boom, I'm there. And that was cool. And I was like, wow, this is really awesome. I had super high expectations because some of my favorite fighters trained there, including Jon Jones and Holly Holm. And then Claressa Shields was there. I'd always heard great things about Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn. And so I was excited to go. I had super high expectations. And Rachel, this place exceeded them.
You gave me a little insider info on Holly Holm that I didn't know. And I wouldn't have known otherwise unless she was just saying in an interview. But what you told me about Holly Holm is that she's really personable and talkative, and that you would imagine that she's an extrovert.
I would. And I thought this actually last time. I interviewed her for Heavy before her last fight. And she was really super easy to talk to. And she's one of those people, sometimes you interview somebody and it's just you'll ask them a question and they'll give you 6 words back. And you're
like pulling teeth.
And you're like, Holly Holm, you'll get 600 of them. And that's great as an interviewer. You want that. You want somebody who's comfortable talking. And yeah, she totally was like that as an interview. We talked to her. What's funny about it is I'm at the gym and I'm taking all these pictures and videos of the gym because I was like, oh, this is an amazing place. And I'm taking pictures of her on the wall. And then I was like, oh, she's right there. She's all there training. And I had no idea. She just mixed in amongst the people.
You're like, I don't have to take a picture of Holly Holm's poster on the wall. I can just take a picture of Holly Holm.
Pictures of her. Yeah, it was so funny. It was like, oh. So that was neat. But yeah, she's super personable, super nice. And yeah, I would make up a story that she's extrovert.
When I see her, she seems very just serious and focused. I only see her probably for weigh-ins and obviously in her fights. Yeah,
because she's legit focused.
That. I don't follow a lot of fighter life outside the cage stuff, so I didn't really know that. So I just thought that was,
I was so excited.
Pretty interesting.
And then of course, I just got to spend a lot of time with her, and that was neat. And everybody at the gym. Here's the thing: is that these people I genuinely already kind of admired as human beings and as fighters and people in the fight game. These were people I just felt drawn to, I guess. And I always liked them, and I didn't really know why. I couldn't put my finger on it. And sometimes in those situations, you'll end up meeting those people, or you'll go to the place where you think whatever, and it'll be disappointing. I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
But this was actually the people there at the gym. It exceeded my expectations. How it was a great gym, full of great people, and that's what makes a gym, are the people.
Let's talk about Jackson Wink a little bit before we get to Claressa Shields, which we're also both very excited about. Talk about just the MMA Academy of Jackson Wink. First of all,
this place is huge.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have any frame of reference, right? Because I haven't looked that closely into what it looked like, but
the way you described Jackson Wink to me was like, it's got levels.
Oh, they would just...
and dorms, you know?
At dorms, that surprised me.
So that people can, like, literally eat, live, and breathe their training regimen.
Yeah, you're already going out. I think it's a great idea, actually. You're already going out to New Mexico.
Which is kind of...
The story I make up is there's less trouble to get in there as Miami. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a place like New York. But then also, on top of that, you go there and you live. I mean, Claressa showed us her little dwelling. You know, she took us at, like, you go out this door and it's just another room, and then, like, there's just little doors that you open, and there she's got this one room and then her bedroom, you know, and it's real small, and it's like it's
efficiencies.
A dorm. Yeah.
She has a kitchen.
That little kitchen within the first room that you stand in that also, like, she's going to get a couch. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like, amazing. But what a cool thing, especially for somebody like Claressa or anybody who's living the life as a fighter. If you don't know, people like that, they train all the time. Claressa's training 4 or 5 times a day. That's legitimate. It's all she does is train. You have to. Every UFC fighter, MMA fighter I've talked to, even Stipe Miocic, he's so busy all the time, and every day it's something else. And talking to the people at Jackson Wink, Holly Holm talked about that too. It's so much data. It's so much to learn. And she's still doing it, right? We're talking about Holly Holm, was UFC champion 5 years ago, still ranked among the top contenders in the sport, wants to get another title shot. She's still doing that stuff for hours and hours at a time, every day. This day is for wrestling, next day is for jiu-jitsu. She's still learning stuff and getting better at stuff, right? Because she started in MMA kind of late, like Claressa did. Holly was a boxer first. And so it's just an amazing thing.
That's the thing about MMA, is that it involves so many disciplines. So I imagine, I don't know how one would get bored, because would always be something to learn. I think your body would give out before boredom ever set in. Let's talk about Claressa, a boxer in her prime, and then people might have thought, oh, like Claressa kind of mentioned, like going over to MMA. And I liked in your interview, which I'll link here in the show, your interview of Claressa, she's like, I don't know where people got that I'm just a talker. I'm not just a talker. I do things. So Claressa wasn't just talking about MMA. She's doing that. And so her goal is to compete in boxing at the highest level and compete at MMA at the highest level.
At the same time. That's pretty bad.
Holly Holm made a move, and she moved over to MMA completely. It's a
pretty cool thing.
We've used the term achieving greatness, chasing greatness, trying to, that's like a move you make, and I don't know if she's going to be successful, but dude, if she was.
I love it, and I didn't bring up Amanda Nunes like Claressa did. That's my favorite thing about that interview. She's like, and I remember this. I think about this sometimes. Like, she's thinking about that, while she's in the middle. This is her third, maybe after her third training set of the day. And that's what she's thinking about. Do you know what I mean? That's why Claressa has been so successful, I think, and why you shouldn't be sleeping on her in MMA. I'm telling you, she's there all the time. That's all she's doing, training. And she's such a good athlete. Greg Jackson said it. She was a dream to coach because he only had to show her something once, and then she could do it. And not everybody's like that. I'm not like that, right? I'm not that kind of elite athlete. Claressa is. That's why she won 2 gold medals, why she's won 3 division boxing champions. She's a 3-division boxing champ, undefeated. And why she could be the next big thing in MMA, too. I love that she's doing it. I love that she's taking her time. I love most that she's at Jackson Wink. That, to me, is the perfect place for her, Rachel. It's an amazing place.
Kelsey had a really great interview with Claressa. Like I said, that'll be linked. You should definitely watch it because she was in a good mood and was really personable. And
she's so happy there.
She was. She smiled a lot.
Loved it.
Kelsey made her laugh, which I thought was great. It was really, really great. What else you want to tell us about Jackson Wink?
They had a cafe there.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it was called Jackson Wink Cafe. I'm serious. They had food like a place. Now it wasn't open because of the
COVID. Yeah.
Because of the restrictions.
Give us this little piece of trivia. Why is it named Jackson Wink?
Because it's Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn. Jackson Wink. I think people know that.
You guys probably know that. I didn't know that. I was like, gosh, that's such an interesting like name because I don't know all the people in MMA in the MMA community yet.
Yeah.
And so
I
anyway,
did
if you
pitch
were
it.
like me, then there's your little trivia.
I was like, what about this guys? McWinklejohn.
Okay.
McJackswinklejohn. And they were like, get out. No, they weren't like that. They were really nice. Really grateful to the manager of the gym. He took me on my own little tour there. I haven't even showed it to you yet. I have it on video.
Oh yeah,
It's really an amazing place. If you're ever out in Albuquerque and you have a chance to visit it, obviously because of COVID, you can't probably do it now. But it'll be open again, friends. And tell you what, exceeded my expectations. So grateful to have been there. And yeah, what an amazing MMA gym.
I don't know how to translate.
And then we're like, just frozen. I thought it was a good end. What's wrong with that?